We're going to do the old intro because this is a tarot mostly reading. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk. These are Tarot Things, and I'm your host, Boogie Down Bronx. And I'm here to take care of everybody, but especially the Virgo, for the Virgo full moon reading. All right. It's been so long, I feel like, since I've set up with my cards. Usually right here, I have my DJ stuff now. So I'll be DJing. Or I'll just do the astrology. So I'm like, whoa, the table looks so clean. I know you can't see it, but it does. And then I got my new backdrop here. So hope you guys are enjoying that. But yes, so Virgo. This is the Virgo full moon. So I think I'm going to break this up into a couple different parts. Oh yeah, and shout out to my hoodie. I know you can't see it, but this is a Virgo pendant. I got this from TikTok shop. But yeah, I'm Virgoed out. You know, I'm Virgo sun. So yeah, I'm gonna break this up into different parts where it's like going to be the first part about well, I'm not really going into all the mechanics of the full moon. This is mostly just advice and messages for this type of reading today. But it's going to be for everybody. Then I'll probably do a couple for just Virgo specifically. And then I will go through a quick rundown of like where Virgo is in your houses and what that full moon could mean for you. Okay. So let's get into it. All right. So Virgo full moon. If you are a mutable sign, Virgo, Gemini, Sag, or Pisces, you will be feeling the effects. Or you could, because some people don't feel anything, you know. You could be feeling the effects of this full moon in Virgo the most. But, of course, Virgo. And of even more, if you have a Virgo moon, that is your lunar return. Whenever you have, your moon sign with a new moon cycle or a full moon cycle, it does show a very pivotal point. Could be a closing up of a cycle that you've been in, or you're reaching a next level of your healing. There's so many things that it could mean. But it is significant if your moon sign is in Virgo, okay? So let's get into some of the things we need to surrender, because surrendering is a part of full moon, letting go. So what do we need to, as a collective watching this on Patreon, what do we need to surrender for this Virgo full moon? What do we need to surrender under this full moon? Yeah. All right. So we got three things here. First one we got is surrender your fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you are afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith, all is well. So you could be undergoing a series of changes here, mutable energy change, right? And so it could be scary where you're like, I don't know what's happening, especially in the area of life where you have Virgo. You may be feeling like things are changing there, right? In your houses where you have Virgo, you're like, a lot's happening. I don't know what's going on with my friends, with my relationship, with my health, this and that and the third. It's like we just have to go with it and see and wait to see what's on the other side of this change. Next is you have surrender to rest and sleep. Virgo especially. To prevent burnout, slow down, honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, Bronx, and spirit. So, Virgo is definitely a sign that's a hustler. I say, and this is not me just being biased because I'm a Virgo, but I say Virgo is like the busiest out of all the zodiac signs. The busiest as far as like working, gotta get back to work, gotta be on schedule, gotta do this, gotta do that, and not just doing it, but just thinking about doing it and planning it out in your head. It's so exhausting. So if for everyone, especially the area of life you have Virgo, look at where you may be just moving too fast. You need more rest, you need to chill, you need to just be and like lay down and stop like doing too much, because full moons are a time of letting something go. So look at where maybe you are overdoing it and you are getting burnt out and restless, because I find also, just me being a Virgo, there's a lot of time I am an overachiever, okay, because we're trying to always be ahead and get ahead and finish things. So sometimes you just need to do enough. You don't need to go above and beyond and overextend yourself and try to clear out the calendar for the next 7 months. Sometimes you just need to take it a day at a time. So look at where you may be overachieving, and you just need to focus on just doing the bare minimum in some places, because not everything needs to be like that, because it's too much. And then the last thing is surrender to divine timing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. All right, so surrender to divine timing here. Everything is timing. Everything is cycles in our lives. And so there are things that you may be feeling a bit impatient about under this full moon. You're like, what's taking so long? Or when is this going to happen for me? And again, that kind of comes into the overthinking realm, like just wondering and thinking and when and where and why and how, when we just need to be trying to go with the flow, which is not Virgo's strong suit. Even though it's a mutable sign, Virgo is not very go with the flow oriented at all. Virgo's like, I need to stick to a schedule to feel in control. All right, so let's get some more blunt truth. What's the blunt truth for everybody under this full moon in Virgo, especially for Virgos? What is the... No, it didn't come out. What does the blunt truth have to say? What is the blunt truth? What is the blunt truth? I don't know what this means. Sometimes I get confused. Okay, so let me clarify some things. They don't care, move on. There's more to this, dig deeper. What is they don't care, move on about? All right, there's more to this, dig deeper. One more card for that. Okay. Okay. So the first one we have, this feels like two different energies. I don't think either of these have anything to do with each other. So the first one you have is they don't care, move on. So it could be something that you're just harping on or overthinking about. It's like not worth the stress of like wondering what's going on and what's happening. Or this could be something from the past where you're just like wondering about like, or thinking about, okay, so this is what I just heard in my head, because Virgo is such a perfectionist type of sign. You may be like really beating yourself up for what you've done or said or something, or you made a mistake. And it's like people, nobody cares. Okay, like everybody's already moved on. Everybody's already thinking about themselves. Like even if you messed up, you made a mistake, you did XYZ. This is not just for Virgo placements. This is for anybody feeling like this right now, where it's like, oh my gosh, what do they think of me because I said this, or I felt stupid, or I messed up, I made a mistake. It's like everybody moving on with their lives, like don't get stuck on that and, beat yourself up forever, because everybody's already moved on. Everybody's just thinking about themselves. Like we're egocentric beings. It's just like nobody thinks about it in the same way that you do if you feel like shameful about something. So I hope that helps make you feel a little better if you are like stuck on your mistakes. Okay, it says calm your tits, so just relax. It's okay to make mistakes, and I think this full moon will also highlight that for you. All right, next you have, there's more to this, dig deeper, deep intimate connection. All right, so this is what I was saying is something aside from what I was discussing before, where there could be a significant connection or something that's deep that you maybe want to dive into, all right, with another person. Or maybe you're feeling this pull, this call to move towards an individual or a group of people, and it's saying to move into that, all right? Especially if you have like Virgo in your 12th house, there could be something subconscious or in your dreams telling you, relaying a message. You have shut up and listen. So every relationship is like a mirror, right? And so with you trying to figure out what you need or like who you are, it's really reflecting in people that you are connecting with. So think about it that way. Okay. So that's the blunt truth. That's the blunt truth. Now let's get into a little bit of shadow work here. And then I will pull some cards for Virgo. Oh, jeez. What is the shadow work for this Virgo full moon? What do we need to be focusing on with our shadow work? 5 of Wands. Okay, wait, that was 25 cards. What do we need to be focusing on with our shadow work here? 5 of Swords. Page of Cups. We got 2 5s here. 5s are typically about conflict. Okay, so the first one is 5 of Swords. There is a loss or defeat you must accept and work to overcome. Upright defeat in argument. So that opened up right to that 5 of Swords. Now, let's see what it means in my shadow work book for the 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands. Well, first let me see the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups here. Emotions flow wildly. You need to learn proper boundaries. Oop. Imagination, curiosity, and charisma. So with Virgo, Virgo is about boundaries. All right. And so the house where you have Virgo in your chart may be where you need more boundaries, more structure. You need to be a bit more strict. Not like strict, like in the way of Saturn, but just more organized. I'm trying to find the wands. Hold on, you all. Hold on, holiday. So conflict and competition are necessary to keep moving forward. Upright competition and conflict. All right, so that we have these 2 5s here, and 5s in numerology are also signals for change. So through strife and through conflict and through disagreements, where can we, pick apart things? Where can we focus on one thing to be like, okay, this is what we need to start working on, or these are the little problems that have been building up, right? Because Virgo is about the details. So if there's little details, little things that have been building up, we need to figure out, all right, let's start one thing at a time. So with the Sun card in reverse, revelation, in reverse, excessive pride, arrogance, blocked action, and lies. So I think since we have a full moon, sun opposite moon is what happens when there's a full moon. There's a bit of not fully seeing the truth yet, not fully seeing the light yet, because the full moon is taking away. All right, so we can get those blinders off, but it's going to happen slowly, and there's going to be needing to get out of denial and needing to get out of pride in order to see what we need to really work on. What is the root cause of these issues? What is the root cause of these arguments? What is the root cause of the conflicts that we're having with each other? And there's a lot of little things. There's a lot of little things that are adding up. So it's like, little aggravations, I feel like. Okay. So now if you have Virgo placements specifically, or if you would like to apply this to where you have Virgo in your houses, you could if you want, but Virgo. All right. And this is my Everything Oracle deck, y'all. This is back in stock. I put it on Etsy. If anyone was wondering, I'll tag it. And I'll also tag a discount code you can use for Patreon specifically. All right. So let's see. What are the main messages for Virgo? What are the main messages for Virgo? We got to move on again. So I don't know what Virgos are harping on. It's time to move on now. What is the main messages for Virgo for this full moon, please? What are the main messages for Virgo for this full moon? She want my love. I guess I gotta move on. That's what I thought of. What else for Virgo? What else for Virgo that needs to what does Virgo need to move on from, actually? What is it that Virgo needs to move on from? Family or family issues. What is it that Virgo needs to move on from? Single. Inner child trauma, time apart. So I feel like honestly, there's just so many things that, like, since the main message for Virgo is like to move on, we have ex or past love at the bottom. I think it's like telling you to wrap it up in all areas, honestly. Like Virgo, and where you have Virgo in your chart, where you need to move on and move into something different. Okay, so you have move on, we have unfinished business here. Now, before I even just do this measure, I just want to clarify unfinished business real quick. Can we clarify unfinished business, please, for Virgo? Affair or third party? Whoa. Whoa. Reconcile. So what are we doing? Like, are we reconciling or not? Okay, so I mean, I think it's kind of like giving you a choice here, because it's like either you can move on, right? Or you can go back to the unfinished business. You can reconcile. It may be just to soothe like some type of codependency you have or some type of addiction you have, especially if it's something that's unhealthy or some type of third party situation that is not serving you. Or, you can move on, like moving away from things that are just adding more stress to your life, right? So for some of you, it's like the family issues is just adding on to stuff. You need to move on from it, especially if you're just like, you're still entangled with it, right? Or maybe you need to start to move away from your current environment, maybe look at living somewhere else. Or you have single and then you have marriage or life partnership. So it could be that you need to move on from being single if you've been single for a long time. Start working towards being in a partnership, or moving on from being in a partnership to being single. It's like some phase, but you have to move on somewhere. There's fear of change. Something is ending. Something needs to be different. Inner child trauma, moving away from that. There comes a certain point in our healing journeys where we have to allow the healing to really take place. Once we feel it, once we acknowledge it, you don't keep reliving in it. Eventually you're like, okay, I'm going to make a conscious effort to not keep living in this trauma, or not keep allowing my inner child trauma to make me stuck or make me like have these different patterns and behaviors. Like, you have to choose to be different. So I think there's like a cycle here for you Virgos where you're like, okay, I need to change. I need to do something different. I need to behave different. Not enough just to think my mindset like, okay, I decide, yes, but then the actions have to follow behind that. Okay, so I think that's really what it is. But there's also some unfinished business that you may revisit for some of you, or you want to revisit. But you have two cards about moving on. So I don't feel like it's necessary to do it, unless you feel like it's really going to be worth the outcome. But I feel like it's telling you it's time to move on. If you are a Virgo that has been like contemplating, like, should I move on? Should I move away? Should I let go? Should I da-da-da? Or if you're not, if you've been wondering, this is your confirmation. Yes, you should move on. Okay. So last but not least, I want to shed some light on quickly where based on your rising sign, where the full moon is happening for you. And, you can look more into that on your own time. So for Virgo, it's in your first house. Of course, Virgo rising specifically, but you can look for your sun too. So I'll say sun or rising for these purposes. So Virgo, sun or rising, it's in your first house. So house of self, revamping your identity, releasing identity blockages, self-criticism, learning to be more accepting of your flaws. You may be cleaning up or polishing up your look as well. For Leo and Leo risings, it's in your second house. So letting go of maybe some stream of income or something that was blocking you from being into your self-worth, or being letting go of something that's making you hypercritical of your finances, tying your worth to your finances, where you need to be more accepting of your financial situation right now. Cancer, third house of communication. So you could be having a more serious conversation over this weekend, maybe about closure, or you may be like trying to be, or you should be trying to be less critical about your words and how you say things. Whether that's being less judgmental towards yourself or towards other people in the way that you communicate, learning to communicate in a different way, or maybe a way that it doesn't come across so harsh or judgmental, even if you're not trying to. Gemini, this is in your 4th house of home life, family, and privacy. So you may be organizing, cleaning up your house, thinking about moving. Also being a little bit less critical toward yourself about your family, like origins or beliefs that they've put upon you, or family trauma, and trying to be more accepting of who you are, even if it doesn't align with your family or your background. Taurus, this is in your 5th house of creativity and romance and fun and joy. So not being so critical or perfectionist about your hobbies, and taking your hobbies a little less seriously, and learning to just have fun with them. Not be like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. My writing's so bad. This is so bad. Like, I'm not perfect. It's okay. You don't have to be perfect at everything. Learning to enjoy and be a little less critical and perfectionist of your dating life as well. Aries in the 6th house, this is your work life, your health, and your daily routines. So this could be taking out anything that is not adding to your health. Maybe you could have had some health problems that have come up, or they may come up because you're burnt out. You're working too hard. So decluttering, maybe doing less work, maybe cutting back on some hours is something that you'll be thinking about doing, or you should consider. Pisces, 7th house, your relationships. All relationships. So you may be letting go of a relationship, or you're trying to address a relationship issue. This could be setting more boundaries in partnerships, or being less critical in your relationships. Okay, if you just come across too critical, too judgmental, too nitpicky, maybe you're trying to give a little bit more grace while also trying to honor your boundaries. All right. So Aquarius sun or rising, this is in your 8th house. That's endings, closure, transformation, change. You could be embodying the most change at this time and facing those fear of change. So learning to not be so critical about yourself when you are going through change, and being patient, allowing yourself time to adjust, as well as not judging yourself for the types of ways you want to connect with people intimately, allowing yourself to connect with people intimately instead of being so afraid of, vulnerability and people judging you, or you judging yourself. Capricorn in the 9th house, this is your house of travel, beliefs, and higher education, higher learning. So this is learning to not be so critical about your belief system or your truth, learning to trust your truth more. So, you could have had a lot of judgments growing up, especially about what you believe in, but learning to not be too critical about what you believe in, especially if it's different than what other people believe in. So you can have your own opinions and allow other people to have theirs. All right. So don't project onto other people about like what you believe, and don't allow anybody to project onto you about yours. And you could also be considering moving into a realm of studying or traveling long distance. So Sagittarius sun or rising. This is a house of long-term career, public reputation, status. And so you are addressing what is holding you back from achieving your goals. And so it could be, you might have some fears about putting yourself out there, being seen more as far as it goes, like work life or being in the public eye, or it could even be on social media. But you need to be less judgmental with yourself about those things, and allow yourself to flourish and not hold yourself back from what you want to accomplish, or being too hypercritical about what you have or have not achieved yet. Be like, oh, I should have gotten this at this time, and I should have this and this and this, and this should be in this way. And, how it goes, your status and your accomplishments. Try to be more lenient and accepting, and appreciate where you are. Scorpio, sun or rising. This is your 11th house. Friendships, groups of people, aspirations, hopes, and wishes. Okay. So you may be having some adjustments. I mentioned this before in my TikTok actually earlier. Scorpio 11th, you may be getting some adjustments with your friends. You may be letting go of some friendships. You may be learning to set new boundaries in your relationships or maybe even online. But I feel like it's about being less critical of yourself and of other people, like your friends. Learning like, okay, everybody's not going to be perfect, extending some grace where it's needed, or, treating people accordingly to where they're at and what they're able to provide for you, as well as not allowing yourself to be feeling critical when you're in a group setting, okay? Because you may be feeling very introspective about how you communicate in your groups or how you interact with other people, and it may make you feel like shame. But try to be more open-minded about your friend groups in that way, or you have to change up some boundaries how you interact with those friends. Now, Libra, 12th house, Libra sun or rising. This is going to be probably a more intuitive, psychological one for you, because 12th house is subconscious mind, the past, dreams, spiritual, all that good stuff, fears. So you may be having a lot of mental energy happening here, a lot of like mental dialogue, but try not to be too critical of yourself, of like what your fears are, beating yourself up, being like, I should not be afraid, I should not feel like this, or why are these traumas still plaguing me? Being your worst critic, internal critic, does not help anybody, doesn't help at all. So you may want to retreat during this one, spend some time alone. If you feel like you just want to be more introspective, maybe you want to rest more, maybe you're tired. All right, so go get some rest, sleep, write things down, and meditate possibly could help you work through some of these subconscious beliefs and fears, or these blockages, this inner critic that you have about yourself and who you are and what you think. Okay, so that's everybody. Thank you guys for watching this video. If it resonated, please get somebody to sign up to the Patreon. I'm gonna start doing some type of incentive if you get somebody to sign up, maybe like a free reading or something. But if you do get somebody to sign up, let me know. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope it resonated with you. I don't know if this is gonna be early access or not yet. It might be on YouTube. Who knows? I am at Mind Body Bronx and Tarot by Bronx on everything.